Hey gang, so here we are with installment number 3 of reading children's books to adults in the plague weeks. Um, Tonight, as promised, more nudity. Um, a friendly reminder again that these are children's books read for adults. There will be 4-letter words at some point. Although tonight I will be doing something a little bit different. I'm just going to read the book straight through tonight. Let's just touch my face. I'm going to get coronavirus. I'm going to read the book straight through here before sort of going back then and doing my commentary. And so, I suppose in theory, if you wanted to, you could allow kids to listen to the first part. And then after we finish the book, not so much, because then I'll use 4-letter words and things. Likely, not always. I mean, it's not a given. I just happen to like them and I use them really well. So, but anyway, so tonight's book, Julia's House for Lost Creatures by Ben Hatke. I have no idea how we came across this book, whether this was something that we just found on a stroll through Barnes & Noble, or touch my face again, more coronavirus. Whether this is something that we found in Barnes & Noble or something like that, but I thought it was awesome, and I think little Julia there, she I don't know, actually, her facial expression for some reason reminds me of a student I had once named Jillian Glass, although Jillian wasn't a redhead. But anyway, and this is a cool picture. I like, again, I'm going with Hatke here for the pronunciation of his name, but I don't know what the hell. But I love his art. I love all the little creatures and critters and things, and we'll meet them as we move forward into the book here. Julia's House for Lost Creatures. Wow. Julia's House for Lost Creatures. Ben Hatke. Let's take a look at that just for a sec here. I'm not sure if Ben Hatke is from Oregon, but for some reason every time I look at this picture it reminds me of the Oregon coast, or the west coast of British Columbia, once you get past the once you're far north enough that Vancouver Island isn't in your way. But anyway, here we go. And again, I touched my face. More coronavirus. I really have to stop touching my face tonight. I don't know why I'm doing that. My hands are clean. I haven't really been out much today. I had to go into work and pick up a monitor from a computer. But anywho, let me get it into focus. There we go. More of a comic book style book. But yeah. Julia's house came to town. Chalk. And settled by the sea. That evening, there was a warm fire and toast and tea, and all the house was quiet. Too quiet. So Julia ran to her workshop. She got out her tools and her paints and went to work. She made a sign. She hung the sign up outside the front door. It said, Julia's House for Lost Creatures. And then she waited. Scratch, scratch. She didn't have to wait for long. The sign worked. Patched Up Kitty came to stay, and it was nice to have a friend, even if he wasn't like other kitties. Before long, there was another knock at the door. It went boom, boom, boom. It was a very sad troll. The city had torn down his bridge, and he asked if he could please stay, just until he could get back on his feet. Julia had just settled the troll into her best chair when there was another knock. There were also scrapes, scratches, whines, bangs, barks, and bellows. Oh my goodness. Look at that. lot of lost creatures. Soon, Julia's house was filling up with lost and homeless creatures of every description. They asked for towels and soap, tea and toast. They had ideas of their own. They spilled things they didn't clean up. And then the troll found Julia's old record player. "Stop!" shouted Julia. "Everybody, stop!" The creatures stopped what they were doing and stood shuffling their guilty feet. Julia ran to her workshop and closed the door. Do not disturb. She stayed in there for a long time. When she finally came out, Julia had a new sign. Now everyone had a job. Julia's house chore chart. Rules: clean messes, wipe feet, kitchen, and so on. The dragon made the toast, and the mermaid washed the dishes. The Folletti tended the fire, the goblins mopped up, the ghost was in charge of dusting, and the troll picked out the music. At last there was a warm fire and toast, tea and toast for everyone, and all the house was quiet again, except all the things that they broke, right? Whoosh, rip, 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 creak. So Julia got out of bed and made one more sign. She put it up outside the door, and then she waited. Tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. She didn't have to wait for long. Help wanted. Repairs, odd jobs, plumbing. The end. So, cool book. I like this one a great deal for a whole bunch of reasons. Not the least of which is just the art, which I think is fantastic. And I think it's cool that it's got a female protagonist in a kid's book. You know, there's lots of people who subscribe to the outdated, stupid, and frankly incorrect idea that you know, boys won't enjoy a book if it has a main character who's female, and this, you know, the boy has always liked this book. I think it helps that I think Ben Hatke probably has a even though he's a dude, probably has a better sense of you know, writing for a female character than maybe other male writers do. I think about, you know, every fucking episode of The Simpsons that ever focused on Lisa, you know, for example, was boring as shit. And, you know, I don't think that's entirely because Lisa was a boring character as much as it was just they had a lot of male writers who, you know, number one, the male writers rather than the female writers, and then number two, the fact that, you know, they weren't particularly good male writers when it came to being able to write female characters. I think Ben Hatke's got a lot of fun there. And we'll read another one of his books down the road too. He's got another one that I like. But yeah, no, I love the house on the back of the turtle on the Oregon coast. I love how energetic Julia is. I love her pink chucks. Definitely cool there. Pink chucks. And I like that she's not just artistic, which she is, but she's also at least slightly handy. She makes a pretty good friggin' sign, you know. I mean, she's, you know, not handy enough that she doesn't need a robot handyman, at the end. And this guy's a genius. I think this guy's great. All the little robots in his pockets that he's got to help out. I think that's cool. Like Minions or something, right? Love that. And then, of course, there's the nudity. We have a... where did she go? Naked mermaid listening to the phonograph. Right there. She's artfully covered up by her hair and such, as mermaids often are. But if you look at Ben Hatke's concept art for this, you can find it online. I've done a little hunting around. He's got drawings that he's done with her boobs out. But I love the way that it's like, you know, the Trolls and Their Relatives was, you know, sort of weird for its nudity. This I love the way it's cool. She's just got this, you know, pot-bellied naked mermaid, who I think is a lot of fun. And I love this dude here. I mean, I like crows and ravens in general, but I'm not sure if that's what this guy's supposed to be. I'm not quite sure what he is, but he's awesome. The fillet are fun, and the giant fucking snail, which my mother is not a fan of snails, so I'm sure the idea of a snail that was like 4 feet tall would probably terrify her. And the patched up kitty is fun, of course. And of course, the "Stop, everybody, stop!" shouted Julia. You know, it's again my generic female voice that we know from when we did Many Moons. But yeah, I love this stuff. Cool drawings. Excellent artwork. What does it say about Ben Hatke? Does it say he's from Oregon? Let's see what it says here. Ben Hatke. Here he is dressed up like a superhero. Ben Hatke is the author of the beloved Zeta the Space Girl series. He's published comic stories in Flight series as well as Flight Explorer. In addition to drawing comics, he also paints in the naturalist tradition and occasionally performs one-man fire shows. Oh no, he lives and works in the Shenandoah Valley with his wife and their boisterous pack of daughters. Ah, okay. Probably why he writes so well for a female character. He's got lots of daughters. But anyway, awesome book. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I certainly said fuck a lot less tonight than I have other times. And hope everybody's doing okay. It's currently raining where I'm at, so you know, hey, there's that on top of the fact that we're hit with plague. But hope you're all doing well. And yeah. Tomorrow. What am I going to read tomorrow? I don't know what I'm going to read tomorrow. I had a former student mention to me Where the Wild Things Are. And I don't know, we might do that. But otherwise, we'll see. I've got a lot of books to choose from. So.